What's up? What's up? Sic Mic, Sic Mic. Yes, sir. To be honest, I want to jump straight forward into it. As far as you bringing me into your establishment, tell us about Virginia Villains, man.
Well, like anything particular you want to know about this shit? Like, you know what I mean?
How did you first sit and decide to get it started? Was it just yourself? Was it a random thought, or was it with you and your homeboys that came up with the idea?
Man, it was just me, man. I was just trying to find a way to transition out the streets. You know what I mean? Like, I come from that shit. I've been in that shit all my life. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to, you got to think your way out of poverty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of them things I was just sitting and thinking. I'm like, man, I got to, you know what I mean? The streets going sour. This is around that, it should have been sour. I'm like, I got to figure this shit out. So it was just one of the things I came up with. I always been vilified. You know what I'm saying? I always been the villain. It's always been the wolf. Always been looked at a particular way. You know what I'm saying? So it only made sense. Yeah. And when I hit it, like Virginia Villains, it's like it got a particular ring to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I was like, boom. So I made it a thing. So I got my first logos and all that shit drawn up. Protected everything. That's like 2017. Got all my paperwork right and all that. But I ain't get, like I said, I ain't get serious with it until like the pandemic.
Yeah.
COVID and all that shit.
And as far as the pandemic, like, did that kind of make you, since everybody was kind of isolated, did that make you have to sit and think of new ideas, new different styles, and how it's going to impact the people once the pandemic was over with, if you thought it was going to be over with?
I wasn't really thinking that far ahead, bro, to be honest. Like, I was just in that mode, that phase of just grinding it up, selling it out the back of the truck, you know what I'm saying? I'm pressing it in the crib, I'm taking orders, I'm pressing them at the crib, I'm delivering them in the truck, I'm you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm setting up at the pop-ups, I'm setting up at the clubs, I'm setting up at the, the shows, the performances, and, just kind of getting it off. But, I wasn't really thinking that far ahead, bro, but when COVID hit, it was like we made the most bread we ever made. Like, Trump was giving away that money. Like, it was just a lot of money in circulation for some reason. You feel me? Yeah. And we made the most money we ever made during COVID, bro. And that put us in a position, I had sat back then. I had to sit back and think about it, calculate it, calibrate it. Like, okay, well, let's figure out the next move. Let's really figure out the next move.
Okay.
So that's when I started actually keeping track of what was happening. Situating shit, you know what I'm saying, in ways that was conducive to positive growth and expansion. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
And then we was able to get our first commercial opportunity in 2021, and from there, we've been going up ever since then.
Tell the people where they can see the commercial, man. I want to see the commercial for real.
No, I said the first commercial location.
Okay.
Well, we do got a commercial. I hit you with that. You can do what you want to do with that.
I might have spoke something into existence.
I got one. It's crazy. I'm ready.
And I do want to, hear more about, your clothing design and your clothing brand.
Right.
But I do want to understand one thing. You go by Wolf God. When did that name first find you? Was it earned, given, or created out of necessity?
Man, I was just, like I said, it all goes hand in hand with my, my attributes. First of all, I come off of the Cherokees, and, on the reservation. My whole family is on some, tribal. You know what I'm saying? My clan is the Beowulf clan. You know what I'm saying? I'm the war chief of the Beowulf clan. So, I'm the wolf god in that respect. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? As far as being vilified, like the wolf was the perfect animal anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The perfect animal. You know what I'm saying? You don't find them at the circus.
Yeah, facts. And when I seen you and I heard about you, it was something that always resonated to me when I seen your pictures. Why is the number 7, like, we know it's deeper than, luck, spiritual, or numerology, or is it something only you understand? Tell us the real reason.
The 7?
Yeah, the number 7.
I mean, the 7 is God, the 7 is perfection. We all know that, you know what I'm saying? But when you see the 7 all over me, it's most likely in reference to the circle 7. The Moorish circle 7, which is, tied to the illustrious Moorish nation.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's a conversation that, you know, we can have some other time, but that's, you know, nationality is the order of the day if we actually speaking, if we actually talking that talk.
Respect.
Right.
So I want to kind of get in your head, and I want to kind of, you know, see if you know you're on your toes.
Come on.
Have you ever felt like the education of Sonny Carson reflect your life in pieces, or what scene or moment hit the hardest, and why do you think it stuck with you?
Damn. Education of Sonny Carson. I wouldn't say it reflects my life. Maybe in a sense, like, or to a degree, but overall, like, if I just had to give you an answer, I would say, you know, nah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I come from that environment, but that just wasn't how my shit went. My shit was a little bit more deeper with, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I had cocaine for sale at 11. Like, it was a lot different on my side. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more advanced than that, you know, regular street, you know, street rap gangster. You know, it was a little bit more
progressive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a little bit more to it. So I would say no in that respect, but the part of it that stood out the most, you know, to me, like, I love the whole movie, first of all.
Yeah,
but,
it was a good movie.
Right. The
Yeah.
part that, it was one of the parts that, matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a part you might not remember.
Yeah.
So they was sitting on the stairs, and this is something I was gonna sample for the music, but the gang, the Hawks, they was sitting on the rooftop on the stairs, and they was high and shit.
Yeah.
And they was just talking. And the motherfucker, the light-skinned one was like, you know, I'm gonna be the captain of the Queen Mary, man. Talking about a ship, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna steal that bad boy straight down Jefferson Avenue, man. Right?
Yeah.
And that was kind of like my shit. I want to, like, nigga, yeah, docking the yacht on land, like Jefferson Avenue, like the whole James River story.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that was kind of dope to me. And then when they was getting on the train, I think it's the same movie. And the nigga was the conductor was like, let the door close, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And it was a broad getting on too.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's your name, whatever. She was like, my name's Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, Virginia, you a fox, you know that? And like, shit like that kind of stuck with me about the movie, you know what I mean? Because I'm really an artist at heart and shit, but dope flick though.
Damn right.